So we're going to talk about the data analysis protocol. So it's called Let's Talk Data. And I created a graphic to describe the steps of the data analysis protocol. So we start with identify, and then analyze, plan, implement, and then reflect and reevaluate. So in the identify step, that first step involves teachers collecting data resources, including the assessment data, demographic data, student survey results, and then of course any data relating to school processes and procedures. Once the data is collected, teachers can work to identify some of the obvious strengths and weaknesses for each student. These can also involve academic, they can be social emotional, they can be attendance, it could even be their perception data about how they feel at school. And this could be modified to fit any school based on whatever type of assessment they use. For the analyze step, the next step involves digging a little bit deeper into the data and looking for trends or patterns. So this could mean students who are chronically absent, comparing this data to their perception and demographic data to get a better well-rounded picture. You can also look at students that might benefit from more of a whole group versus a small group instruction to reach their goals. Then the next step is to plan. And the planning step requires the teachers to take the information that they've gained from analyzing the data and then begin to plan the next steps to what they would do differently in the next few weeks. So teachers at this step, they might be able to form ability or strategy groups, just that small group intervention to help any of those kids based on specific areas of growth or strength, and then patterns that they've observed. And another important aspect to consider during the planning stages are dates. So to effectively analyze the data, teachers are going to need to plan dates for things like goal setting, progress monitoring, and dates for reevaluation. Otherwise, if there's no dates in mind, it's hard to know when to reevaluate and when to have goals set in place. The next step is implementing, and so after the plan has been created, you'll want to begin implementing these steps in the classroom. So this could mean the creation of small group intervention groups, adding accommodations, or maybe even modifications to students based on what the data has shown. And then the final step to this protocol is the reflecting and reevaluating stage, which means just taking a look back at the effectiveness of the plan that's been implemented. Has it been working? Has it not been working? What needs to be changed or modified? This is just a time to kind of make those decisions about what needs to be altered and changed within the next few weeks. And so in addition, I included this graphic organizer that can be used and passed out to teachers during a data talk. So this is kind of where they would add their students and they can keep track of strengths and weaknesses that they noticed. And then once they've filled that part out, there's a section for creating an action plan. So this is just designed to help teachers kind of have some questions to consider when creating an action plan. It gives them just some structure and just helps them guide them through that process of, okay, now that we've collected the data, what do we do with that data? So questions like, what are some trends and patterns that you noticed? Which students can benefit from whole group instruction? What will we do differently in the next few weeks? Which students require small group instruction to meet their goals? What kinds of professional development and what support do you need from us as leaders? What students need individualized instruction to address targeted learning goals? Also, this is where you can put dates for reevaluation, for progress monitoring. If a student has a goal that they want to meet in May, Could you put progress monitoring dates in March and even January, just to kind of keep track of how that student is progressing toward their goal. And then any interventions that need to be implemented also can be included here. So this is just kind of a graphic organizer that can be used at a professional development or a data talk, just to kind of help guide teachers through the process of, now that we have the data, what now? It is possible that some teachers would feel like this is extra work that they're being asked to do. But I think that to get everyone on the same page and just help everyone to work toward the same goal, I think it's important to have a protocol that people are familiar with, can understand how to use, and this can also just be modified to fit any school. So no matter what the data is or the type of assessments used, this can be used. It's kind of a one size fits all. It can be made with modifications, just to kind of help with, again, just guiding teachers through that process of collecting data and then using that data to implement in their classrooms and help work toward, student achievement and school improvement.